Hello, everyone, and thank you for clicking the play button to watch our first ever 2026 annual partner webinar right here in 2026. We're excited to be with you all today. We have a number of items that we want to share with you all, our amazing animal welfare partners. So we're going to look at our 2026 priorities, which include the 2025 annual data report. So we'll look back at 2025. We'll talk adoptions at Petco as well as Petco Love Lost. Then we want to transition into grant cycles and information around that, as well as opportunities to visit with the Petco Love team and our upcoming conference schedule. And then we'll wrap it up with the new animal shelter management certification program that is now powered by Petco Love. So more information here at the end of this presentation. But to kick us off, we are excited to introduce to you our new president for Petco Love. Not new to Petco Love, but new to the position. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Miss Chelsea Staley.
Oh my gosh. Hi, and thank you so much, Renee. Thank you all for all the work you do to save pet lives. I am honored to serve as the third president in the history of Petco Love, and I'm deeply committed to maintaining our 25-year legacy founded by Paul Jolly and, of course, continued by our beloved Suzanne Kogut. If you've partnered with us for a while, you know that I am not new to Petco Love. I joined Petco Foundation in 2020 as the director of lifesaving, where I led our grants and our adoption programs. I'm also not new to animal sheltering. Prior to Petco Love, I was at Kanawha Charleston Humane, a mid-sized shelter in West Virginia, where the team and I increased lifesaving from 35% to more than 95% in just a few short years. So regardless of the fancy title and the corporate affiliation, I am at my core a shelter director just like you. The trenches is my absolute favorite place to be. I know what it takes to save pet lives, and I celebrate your hard work every single day. So while our top leader might have changed, our commitment to a brighter future for pets and their families never will. As one of the nation's largest funders in animal welfare, we will continue to put our money where our heart is by investing in organizations like yours who do real life-saving work. I am so excited for the future of Petco Love, and I look forward to working with you to advance life-saving into the future. And now I am honored to introduce to you the best part of Petco Love, the team. So while I might be new in the top role, the team has been with us for a long time. They are brilliant, they are creative, they are fun, and they are wholly committed to helping you save pet lives. So you've already met him. Renee is our chief of staff. Aaron Klein is not on this call with us today, but he is the director of product, and by product we mean Petco Love Lost. Marianne Magana is our grants manager. You know her and you love her. Roxanne Ramirez supports Marianne. She's our life-saving program specialist. And Rachel James is with us today also. She's our marketing manager. And then last but not least, our field partners represent Petco Love to the Petco stores and to animal welfare organizations just like yours across the country. On the left side of your screen are your field partners. They are your contacts for doing adoptions at Petco. And then on the right side of your screen is our Petco Love Lost team, whose goal is to get more pets home with the families who love them. You can connect with them to maximize your return to home outcomes. And with that, I will hand it off to Marianne.
All right. Thanks, Chelsea. Now that you've met the team, I've got some insider information to share with all of you. The key to unlocking Petco Love's partnership opportunities, including grants, begins with submitting your annual data for the previous year. Almost all organization types will now need to submit their annual data by March 31st every year. Your organization type in our partner portal determines which report you complete. Plus, we've added an easy button to help make the process easier. If you have a green button on your organization info page, like the ones you see on the screen, the annual report is required for grants, adoptions at Petco, and other opportunities. For AWO organization types, we ask that you provide your animal handling data, your financial information, Petco Stores partnership, Petco Love Lost participation, and general operating information. For access to care organizations, we ask that you provide details related to the veterinary services you provide to pets, such as spay-neuter, TNR, vaccines, vet care, financial assistance for vet care, etc., along with your organization financial information and Petco Stores partnership. The ability for adoption partners to acknowledge the Adoption Partner Handbook and attach their general liability insurance is available on both forms. Also, everyone needs to submit a newly signed W-9 form every year. And if you do not file an IRS 990 or you file the 990 postcard, please provide financial statements or other financial information to detail your expenses. Finally, if your organization type is incorrect in our partner portal, please contact us at partners@petcolove.org for assistance in updating that information. And now Kathy will tell us more about adoption partner opportunities and rewards.
Thank you, Marianne. Hi, everybody. Let's talk about adoptions at Petco. This is a great way to get your organization out into the local community. There are a couple of ways that you can do it with Petco. You can showcase your pets in the cat habitats that are in the stores, or you can do events, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. So please reach out to your local general manager to set up the events or to see if there's an empty cat habitat that you can work with. The events are so fun. The customers love them. The community loves them. And it's a great way for the community to understand if they want to adopt a pet, they know to go to you to do it. You can also earn rewards, which we'll talk about in a couple of slides. First, let's talk about if you are not an approved adoption partner. Simple process to become approved. You need to log on to the partner portal, fill out your 2025 annual data, and just like Marianne was saying, make sure you're choosing the correct type. And then you're going to fill out your new adoption application. It's on the left-hand side. Please remember when you're doing this to hit the save button and the submit button. It'll make sure that it gets to us. If you have any questions, partners@petcolove.org is a great email to use if you have questions. Adoption rewards. We are so thrilled to be able to offer you these rewards for the life-saving work that you're doing. They happen quarterly, automatically, so you do not have to apply for a grant for these. The only way that Petco Love knows that you have done an adoption is if your VIN gets rung through the register. So please make sure that you are partnering with your Petco team to ensure that every adoption that you do is rung up under your VIN. You will get an email every quarter to let you know how many adoptions you have done for the quarter. If it looks wrong, reach out to your GM because we can get it reconciled. We'll make sure that it's right. And the time period that we're talking about is a fiscal time period. So it's February through January. So the quarters within that, February through January. And once again, partners@petcolove.org if you have any questions. Let's talk about the money. Okay, you have to hit 25 adoptions to start earning rewards. So it's a 25 adoption threshold. I'm going to give you an example. So let's say the first quarter, you get to 25 adoptions. That's a $500 payout. By the second quarter, you get to 50 adoptions. So for the year, now you're at 50 adoptions. That's a second threshold of $1,500. But because you've already received the 500, that second payout will be 1,000. I hope that makes sense. You'll get all of this information if it doesn't. And once again, partners@petcolove.org if you have any questions. The ASB, the Adoption Support Benefit, you receive this for all of your new adopters, not just the adopters that you do, the adoptions that you do with Petco, but all of your new adopters. So this can go into your packet for all of the new adoptions, whether it's via paper or a bag that you give away or digitally. It's for 20% off of a Petco purchase, which can be so impactful to a new pet parent. And then there is a QR code for Petco Love Lost. So this is just a great form for a new pet parent to have for the tools that they need for their new pet. And with that, I'm going to hand this off to Rachel.
Thank you, Kathy. Speaking of adoption support, so to help you invite your local community to your Petco adoption events, we have recently updated and added new materials to your Petco Adoption Partner Toolkit. And these are easy, ready to use materials that you can customize with your pets that are available for adoption and details like date and time. So make sure that you download your adoption partner toolkit by visiting petco.love/partner-toolkits. It's also up here on your screen if you want to pause the video and copy that into or type it into your browser. These are materials that are exclusive to promoting Petco adoption events, but our monthly newsletters actually have access to free toolkits available to everybody. So if you don't mind going to the next slide, Renee, thank you. In January, we actually shared a toolkit that is has a love story theme that is available to all adoption partners. And these are a great way to get your local community to attend your adoption events and help more pets find loving homes. So make sure you're signed up for our newsletter. You can do that by going to petco.love/partner-newsletter. This newsletter goes out every month, and it includes, like I said, the free toolkits as well as important information like the Love Story grant announcements coming soon. It includes your ASB and more important information. And I will hand it over to Gina.
Everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Gina Knapp. I'm with the Petco Love Lost team. And what in the heck is Petco Love Lost? Well, we're a completely free service for shelters, rescues, and pet people that uses AI, machine learning technology to reunite lost pets. It's kind of like going to the airport. When you go to TSA, you hand them your driver's license and they take your picture. They're making sure that you match the identification. Same premise for our photo matching, but better because we're getting lost pets back home where they belong. We have 3,200 shelter partners and rescue groups in the country. And I believe we're on our way to becoming the Google of lost and found pets, but we can only do that with your active involvement. And I'll tell you about that in a second. But before we do that, let's look at the numbers for 2025 and the impact that we quantifiably know happened directly because of Petco Love Lost. So the national average length of stay for lost pets before they go home was 5.6 days. But with the help of Love Lost, the average length of stay went down to 2.3 days, which is super significant. That's 25,000 fewer days in 2025 that pets stayed in your shelters. And we can quantify that 110,000 reunions were just a direct result of the Love Lost platform. That's pretty amazing, in my opinion. We can also say with certainty that we helped 29,000 pets get home that otherwise would not have. No chip, no tag. The only thing that got them out of the shelter was Love Lost. And even better, we know that 22,000 pets were reunited by finders who used our platform, keeping those pets out of your shelters and helping them get back home on their own, which is terrific. Here we go. Next slide. Thank you. So, did you know that you can reunite more pets from your dashboard? Are you logging into your Love Lost dashboard regularly? You should. Here's why. It's kind of like having a gym membership, but never going to the gym, right? Logging into your dashboard will propel your reunification rates significantly. We're integrated with Nextdoor and Neighbors, which means all the lost and found reports and sightings of lost animals are fed from those two social platforms into Love Lost. A really important component here is if you're not checking your dashboard and someone filed, let's just say, a Nextdoor post, I lost my pet, it's the only platform I used, to make the report, that animal is in your shelter, your team is going to be the only one who sees that report that matches an animal in care. That's why it's so important to check the dashboard. We also added, we all know that lost and found Facebook pages, there's over 5,000 of them in the United States. And we know that they're a vibrant piece of lost and found. Now, when you file a lost pet report on Love Lost, the reporting party, the finder or the loster, will get alerted and they will be told, hey, there's 4 or 5 lost and found Facebook pages in your area. And the person can then quickly cross post without having to research and look for all those pages. Again, shelters can research or do matches, look for matches in their dashboard, but you have to kind of log in. It's like going to the gym. On the screen are 2 Calendly links for my colleague, Cameron Faddis, and I. Feel free to schedule a meeting. We're here to help you, and we're more than happy to train your team on how you could better utilize the dashboard. And the map, I forgot to tell you about the map. We have this really cool map that you can easily embed. Access to that is in your dashboard. You can easily embed it on your website. And not only does it just it's useful, especially to community members that are interested in this topic, but it really illustrates the breadth of lost and found in our communities, which most people are very surprised at when they see it. So our goal is simply to make it easier to reunite pets in your care. We'll send you notifications when there are matches for the animals in your shelter. Our goal is to have you check those matches on the regular. And if you don't have enough staff for that, it is a great job for volunteers. And you can also, in those reports in your dashboard, access contact information for the person, their email, their phone number. So there's a lot of information at your fingertips that you might not even know is available to you. So schedule a meeting with us. Thank you. And I'm going to pass it back to Marianne.
All right. Thanks, Gina, for that great update on Petco Love Lost. Now let's discuss Petco Love's grant investment opportunities. As you may know, Petco Love's grant application process is different than most funders since our grant cycles are by organization type rather than funding type. Our grant review process focuses heavily on data, partnership, and life-saving progress over time. Grant cycle funds may be awarded for any life-saving purpose, so they're virtually unrestricted. Also, in an effort to close the gap between application and decision timing and make some important updates to our grant system, we moved the application grant cycle dates last year. Our intention is to remain on this schedule going forward, thereby making the process better for all parties involved and to remove the added stress of having organizations apply at their busiest times of year. Therefore, going forward, access to care applicants will apply in the fall with decisions expected in the spring of the following year. AWO organizations will be able to complete their annual data report and submit their AWO grant request during the same time period, with decisions expected by the end of the calendar year. We'll take a closer look at these opportunities and what types of organizations should apply on the following slides. Please note, though, that we do have a few invitation-only opportunities, and we are not going to review those today, but invitations will be going out to selected organizations later in the year. Okay, first up, our largest and most anticipated annual grant cycle is our Animal Welfare or AWO grant cycle. This cycle is specifically for organizations whose primary purpose is animal sheltering, adoptions, and transport. These organizations may also provide other services, including vet care, spay neuter, etc. But if their primary purpose is animal sheltering and adoptions, they should apply in this category. As we heard before, funds awarded may be used for any life-saving purpose. It's important to note that if an organization technically qualifies for both this category and access to care, they will be limited to one cycle based on their organization type, as indicated in our partner portal. To qualify for the AWO grant cycle, we require 3 things: completed previous year annual data report with all required attachments, annual intake of at least 250 animals, and that your organization be enrolled and fully integrated in Petco Love Lost. Well, what does fully integrated mean? Well, it means you're sharing your animal data with us. You're using the links provided in your Love Lost dashboard on your website as the primary search tool to reunite lost and found pets. And this is important because doing so will direct all of those lost and found reports to a single database, to Petco Love Lost first, to start making matches right away. And using your public-facing tools like social media, newsletters, etc., to inform your community about using Love Lost as the primary way to get a lost or found pet home quickly. And don't forget to share the adoption benefit flyer with your adopters, since it has the Petco Love Lost information right there on the bottom to make it easier to register those brand new furry family members. Okay, next up is our Access to Care grant cycle. And for those of you with pending requests from last fall, we are in the review process now and decisions are expected by the end of April. Funding in this category is designated to increase access to veterinary care, reduce economic euthanasia, and the surrender of pets to shelters when families are unable to afford needed vet treatment. Organizations who should apply in this category have a primary purpose to provide low-cost vet care to family pets, or they are providing other vet services like spay neuter, TNR, and community help for community cats. To qualify for the Access to Care grant cycle, the organization types indicated on the slide need to complete the 2025 Access to Care annual data report. And please note that this annual data report is due by March 31st every year, even though you apply for grants in September. Grant reports are different and will be due in the fall during the same time frame that you submit your next grant request. We do ask that you complete your grant report before submitting a new grant request. All righty. We have pet cancer treatment funds available to current active partners seeking assistance for a pet diagnosed with cancer who has a good prognosis for recovery. This applies to either a pet in your care or one who has been adopted in the last 6 months. Active partners are those that have received grant cycle funding or have completed at least 5 adoptions at Petco in the last year. Your previous year annual data report is also required for funding. And we also have support for organizations directly impacted by natural disasters such as hurricanes, wildfires, tornadoes, etc. And this support is available year-round. Requests must be submitted within 60 days of the disaster for consideration. And for those of you in disaster-prone areas, we strongly recommend that you complete your annual data report by the end of March every year as part of your disaster preparation planning. And now Roxanne will tell us more about the Vaccinated in Love campaign.
All right, thanks, Marianne. So Petco Love initiated the Vaccinated in Love campaign back in August of 2021 with a commitment to reduce the spread of vaccine-preventable diseases. Specifically, we're talking about parvo, distemper, and panleuk. So through this campaign, we are awarding free DAPPV and HCP vaccines to qualified partners to then provide to family pets for free through vaccine clinic events. So we recently reached a milestone of 4 million vaccines distributed across the nation for family pets, and we are now working our way to 5 million life-saving vaccines. This application is open year-round with some periodic closures around major holidays. The process is like any of our other grant opportunities, meaning you must submit a quality application for our team to review, and it will go through the internal review process just like any of our other applications. So some of the requirements listed here are, again, you must submit your annual data report. We recommend submitting this before you even submit one of these applications for the Vaccinated Love campaign. As we stated before, that annual data report is required for all organization types. So depending how you're listed in the system, you will complete one of the 2 options. So, and then next, your organization must truly have that capacity to host an event-style vaccine clinic for family pets. That includes meeting all regulatory requirements of your state, having the staff and the necessary resources for this type of event, etc. And then also follow all of the certifications that are listed within the grant application. We did update the application for 2026, so very important to read through the entire form. There's an attached campaign guide, so please read that as well. Another update for 2026 is that the stipends are no longer associated with this grant opportunity. Vaccines are still being provided for free. Grant reports are still needed to be submitted so make sure you're hanging onto your approval emails. Those will assist you in completing those quarterly reports. And then finally, Petco Love recognizes the month of March as National Pet Vaccination Month. Keep an eye out for our newsletter. There will be some future information and tools your organization can use to highlight the importance of pet vaccinations and to help your community keep their pets vaccinated and loved. So for those of you that are not aware, and a friendly reminder to our partners participating in the campaign, we ask our partner organizations to provide a very short anonymous survey for the pet parent to complete. To date, we've collected over 180,000 responses from pet parents across the nation. As you can see on the slide, there's a graphic reflecting a data point we've collected through the pet parent survey. Over the time of this campaign, the data has reflected that 36% of pets have never seen a private veterinarian before. That information is incredibly important for us to know. It helps us make better, more thought out decisions when we're looking at target areas and for strategy to help end vaccine preventable diseases. So when a family comes to your event, please ask them to complete the survey. To clarify, it is not a requirement for the family to complete one in order to receive a free vaccine. However, our partners must make the survey available and communicate the importance of gathering this information. So you'll find the survey within the toolkit we send out after your grant has been approved. There's a QR code option, which we definitely prefer, but there is also a paper version, and both QR code and paper are offered in English and Spanish. Okay, next, so some grant tips. As you heard, all of those opportunities are for 2026, and here is a handy dandy checklist to help you submit your applications. So first, very important, read everything, all of it. We know it's tedious, but you don't want to miss something very important and then it costs you a grant award. Next, your data and expenses information, just verify all of that's correct. Provide accurate numbers. Do not round. That goes for both the data reports and for applications. Just give us the accurate information. Attach all of the required documents. When we say required, we do mean it, so don't skip that step. If you are not the executive officer that gives the stamp of approval, make sure you run it by them before you actually submit your application. Apply early as soon as possible. Look at the grant application, review it. We are a small team supporting the entire country, so try to get those questions to us as soon as you can so we can respond to you. Verify your submission went through in the partner portal. You might need to refresh the browser and then look under the submitted section for your request. And if you've previously been awarded grants, just double check that there aren't any reports that are overdue and get those completed. So next, conferences. So listed on this slide are the upcoming conferences you can catch the Petco Love team at. So first, in early March, you can find us at Carolinas Unite. April is going to be a busy month for us. You can find our team at Animal Care Expo and the NACA State Association Summit, both in Pittsburgh, back to back. And then at the end of April, we will be at Texas Unites. And finally, in May, head on over to our booth and say hi at the Best Friends National Conference in Salt Lake City. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Renee.
All right. Thank you, Roxanne. And also thank you to all the presenters that shared all that amazing, wonderful information. So last year's webinar, we actually talked about the Animal Shelters Management Certificate Program as a part with the partnership with Humane Network and stuff. And this year, we are proud with this annual webinar to announce that we now power the Animal Shelters Management Certification Program. So we're deeply thankful to Humane Network, who has trusted us in taking over this program that they built over the last 10 years. And we're looking to carry it forward for 10 plus years, if not even more, not only to be able to expand it to our vast network of shelter partners. Many of y'all that are looking right now, there's actually probably some of y'all that are alumni of this program, are currently taking the program right now, or hopefully are going to be coming into the program here future. So it's a program that equips current and aspiring shelter professionals with the knowledge and valuable networking and shelter leadership, operation, and external initiatives. And we've also redesigned it into those 3 courses. So just a brief overview. This is in partnership with the University of the Pacific, right? So the University of the Pacific is the one that actually will distribute the certification at the end of your completion, or the individual's completion of these 3 courses. And the 3 courses are 8 weeks each, right? We start off with shelter leadership, We then turn into shelter operations. And then the last course of the certification program is external shelter initiative. So that one's currently open for enrollment. That course will actually start up here March 23rd of this year. You do not have to take these courses in order, right? You just need to complete all 3 courses in order to get the certification. You might also identify, or you might just be interested in just one of the courses, and that's perfectly fine. You can take one of the courses as a student. You do not have to complete all 3 courses. But if you're looking for a certification program, if you're a current leader and want to kind of add that opportunity for some additional exposure to kind of round out your experiences or knowledge skill set, we welcome you to join us. If you're thinking about stepping into a leadership role, or if you're just looking to expand your knowledge as a board member, volunteer, you name it, this course is definitely for you. So we have a broad range of participants in there. So to find out more information about the Animal Shelter Management Certification Program, go to our website, petcolove.org. Up at the top, you're going to click Shelter Partners and then scroll down to Shelter Management Certificate. We have more information about the program, even links you in over to the University of Pacific if you decide to take the next step and look at fees as well as the upcoming dates to enroll, etc. But also stay tuned to the ever important Petco Love monthly newsletter. So we'll have up-to-date information about this program as well. So if you're interested, great. We invite you to come and join us. Or if you have a member of your team or someone within this network that is the amazing animal shelter world and the amazing people that support it, please help us spread the word. All right, so we're coming up to the end of our annual webinar, annual partner webinar. So some next steps, just to recap. So make sure you, submit your 2025 annual data report by March 31st. That's important. Also, if you want to perform adoptions at Petco, please reach out to the Petco team. If you're already doing it, continue it. We hope that you realize the same success, if not more success, with adoptions at Petco. But if you are new to Petco adoptions, please connect with the local Petco general manager to get set up for those weekend events, or get set up in the cat habitat if that's available. But also, too, where you can really help us is distributing those ASBs, right? So those adoption support benefit flyers to your adopters to get them the supplies and resources that they need as a new pet parent. Number 3, use Petco Love Lost. Gina gave a great overview as well as some of the latest updates and stuff. So make sure you're using that as your lost and found reporting tool. And if you need support or assistance, again, reach out to the Love Lost team. Scroll back through, look at that Calendly invite, and set up some time to visit with them. And of course, apply for those grant investments, right? So be thorough, read all the information, but we invite you to apply for those grant investments where they fit with the work that you all are doing. All right, so thank you. We've come up to the very end of our webinar. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to these areas of our organizations. For grant opportunities, it's partners@petcolove.org. If you have questions about adoptions or setting up adoptions at Petco, hit adoptions@petcolove.org, and a member of our amazing field team will be able to reach out to you and move that further, address questions, and hopefully get you connected with the store so you can start hosting adoptions. And of course, our Petco Love Lost team, that's an email to lost@petcolove.org. If you have any questions, email these teams, or feel free to take that scrub button, rewind it back, review another section, etc. If you'd like, put this thing on loop and hear it a couple of more times so you can follow up, you name it. But other than that, we want to thank you for your time. Thank you for an amazing 2025, and we're going to have an amazing 2026 in the world of life saving because of you. Thank you so much.